Former President Donald Trump is big mad that he's not getting a lot of credit. Now, in his blog, which is great, Donald Trump claims that his administration, through Operation Warp Speed, came up with the vaccine years ahead of schedule, but said that it was incredible that our names are not even mentioned in what everybody's calling the modern day miracle of the vaccines. Damn, from that comment, you would think that Donald Trump was sitting right alongside the scientists, holding test tubes and doing all the stuff that you're going to do, working on it. Holy crap. Not even close. Not even close. He said, without the vaccines, this world would have been in for another 1917 Spanish flu, where up to 100 million people died. Because of the vaccines we pushed and developed in record time, nothing like that will be even close to happening. Fun. Ridiculous. Now, wait a minute here. I thought according to Trump, COVID-19 wasn't a big deal. 99% survival rate. That's what I hear from conservatives all the time. When you argue against, or when you argue in favor for mask mandates and against, doing massive super spreader events. 99%. 99% survival rate. We need the economy. We'll open the economy right now. Cure cannot be worse than a disease. It's funny because I have a lot of statements here from Trump when he was president downplaying the virus. This was prior to vaccines being available, by the way. February 27th, 2020. He said this. It's going to disappear one day. It's like a miracle. It would disappear. And from our shores, it could get worse before it gets better. It could maybe go away. We'll see what happens. Nobody really knows. I mean, just complete contradictory nonsense. More. It's from July 19th, 2020. Many of these cases are young people that would heal in a day. They have the sniffles, and we put it down as a test. Many of those sick are going to get better very, very quickly. September 21st, 2020, during a speech in Ohio, Trump claimed without evidence that the coronavirus, quote, affects virtually nobody. It affects elderly people with heart problems. If they have other problems, that's what it really affects. That's it. In some states, thousands of people, nobody young, below the age of 18, like nobody. They have a strong immune system. Who knows? A lot of the people who had gotten sick with coronavirus and some of the latest, the latest spike, was younger people. And that's because we had vaccinated the majority of older people. And so now what was left is getting younger people vaccinated, who were the people that were in the hospital the most. So, but he says, take your hat off to the young because they have a hell of an immune system. It affects virtually nobody. It's an amazing thing. By the way, open your schools. This guy's spent over a year openly downplaying the virus, which, by the way, killed over 500,000 American citizens. Had we followed Donald Trump's advice and opened up the country completely, sacrificed grandma to the stonks, even with a 2% fatality rate, you would have had roughly 6.6 million Americans die from COVID. That's, of course, if you have 100% of Americans infected, which, God forbid, right? God forbid. Thankfully, because of the partial lockdowns, which he opposed, masks, which he wasn't in favor of, social distancing, we did not get to that horrible number. But hey, I guess you could say then he now realized that this was quite a serious virus. Well, I guess, I agree. It is pretty serious. Yes. Now, he went on to say, or beg, I should say, please give me some attention. Just a mention, please. The Biden administration had zero to do with it. All they did was continue our plan of distribution, which was working well right from the beginning. Alternative reality. And by the way, it's really funny to hear him beg for just a crumb of like, oh, please, just Just give me just a tiny little crumb of credit. Can I have just a tiny little crumb of credit, please? Please, I'm dying over here. And by the way, it was not working right from the beginning. Distribution was fucked. That said, does the Trump administration get some credit for Operation Warp Speed? Well, I mean, let's look at the facts, right? So Operation Warp Speed basically took taxpayer money and funded the research into mRNA, which had been, mRNA vaccine specifically, which had been around for quite some time. But the studies have languished on that per lack of funding. Coronavirus comes around. They start saying, oh, hey, we got this possibility that this mRNA could work. Please fund us. And that's what the Trump administration did. And so I guess your administration funded it, and that's your credit. There you go. Distribution under Trump was terrible. Plus, you had a lot of Republicans, and still have a lot of Republicans, that are spreading anti-vax conspiracies and anti-mask conspiracies. And so that doesn't help. What is an interesting twist, and I'll take it, it's still really funny. Now you've got anti-maskers that are like, we're so anti-vax, we're going to put on a mask to protect us from the vaccinated. What the? Oh my God. So anyway, to say that Biden, when he took over, did absolutely nothing. No, that's a lie. The Biden administration picked up where the Trump administration failed the most, and that was the distribution of the vaccines. So the Biden administration took over. At the time, in January, the U.S. was only administering about 1 million vaccines to adults each day, and the pace had since massively picked up since then. The Biden administration had built on that and corrected a lot of the errors on the Trump administration's program, vaccine program, ordering more doses, increasing the number of vaccination locations, and of course, invoking the Defense Production Act in order to ramp up production on the vaccines. They also apparently had a partnership after Johnson & Johnson was approved by the FDA to pair Johnson & Johnson and Merck in order to increase doses of the vaccine. So I'm sorry, but no, you don't get any credit. You bungled this for over a year. Sorry. Biden is correct that the Trump administration had no real plan to vaccinate much of the country, and that Trump had failed to order enough vaccines, and also failed to mobilize the effort to administer the shots, failed to set up vaccine centers. Also, he minimized the virus, ignored public health advice, and held large campaign rallies or super spreader events during the campaign, barely even wore a face mask in public. And by the way, when he did get his vaccination, he kept it on the down low. So yeah, no credit. I mean, I was generous to even consider giving him a crumb of credit for Operation Warp Speed happening under his watch. It only happened under his administration, despite him doing, by the way, everything that he could to undermine his own efforts. So no, in the words of Anna Kasparian, no cookie for you. No cookie for you. No credit. Fuck off. Go blog about something else, you narcissistic shitlord. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.